Hello, Muraho. How are you? Welcome to what I call Radio on the Road with Joy Love, the lover of love. But well, today we are in house and I'm pretty curious about what we want to talk about pets. You know why I'm curious? Because I'm not even a pet person. Some people ask me, are you a dog person? Are you a cat person? And I'm neither of the two. I don't know what that makes me, but I'm going to find out by the time we're done conversing. Because I I came across something recently. The cost of pet parenting is risen world over. Apparently, according to, let's see, this is a report by Rover. It is the world's largest online market for pet care and all. So they are saying that the expenses have increased up to about 7% this year. They're saying that being a parent of cats, for example, you would have to, this whole thing has increased to 10%, taking care of them when they are sick, feeding them and all that. We are putting it all together, right? And then they say that annually people are spending on average about 1,200 USD to take care of dogs. Of course, there are different kinds and each would have its own nitty-gritty details. But generally this is averagely. For cats, we are speaking about 700,000 USD. No, actually it is just 700 USD. Now, without further ado, I brought me a guest to let me know how this feels right here in Rwanda, okay? Because we are increasingly becoming pet parents. It's not even an African thing, let me put it that way, where I grew up from. They were for security and for us young ones to run away from them and all. But it looks like people are becoming more attentive, taking care of them more, making sure that they're part of family and all of that. So with me is a gentleman. He's El Rahim. If you have a pet, you surely have met him one way or another. Either he has trained your dog walker or something. In Rwanda, he's really known. El Rahim Jaffa. He's an entrepreneur across various industries, but specifically he's here for the pet side, and he's been dealing with pets for over 20 years. Wow, 20 years is quite some time. How are you feeling? I should start there.
How am I feeling about self or pets?
Oh, that's a good
Having
one.
pets here.
So since we don't have any here, let's begin with you.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Things
Yeah.
are good. Yeah.
You're welcome
Thank you for having me, Joy.
to our humble place, Royal FM.
Thank you.
Now, when I looked at you, I understood why you love pets. You are such a happy person. I know, right? I mean, we first met. Actually, I got his number online. Nobody even led me to him. And it's how you were warm. And when I said pets, you're like, okay, tell me more. I mean, you were so eager to help immediately. When did the love for pets come for you?
I can say it came from, as far as I can remember, I grew up here in Rwanda, I grew up with dogs at home. So I think that's when it started. I also had cats in my life. I also had fish. I had birds. So I had quite a few different types of pets. And I think, from the beginning, because I was exposed to it, I realized that they are my best friends. And
Oh.
Yeah.
So when mostly people will say, are you a cat person or are you a dog person? But for Rahim, he's all animal person.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned here in Rwanda. Talk to us about your childhood.
So yes, back then, even still now, but mostly back then, dogs and cats would be used to against pests, whether animal pests or human pests like thieves or whatnot. So cats will be used for rats and all that, and dogs for protection against robberies and all that. So they would be caged all day and free at night. I do the opposite. I protect my dogs, so at night they are caged and during the day they are free. And I have so many dogs at home that if something happens on one side of the house, I have dogs on the other side of the house. So we still have them as protection. They're great for alertness. But yeah, here was mostly just having them as security, but I still managed to get a bond. Seeing how my dad was interacting with the dogs, I was able to mimic that in my life, obviously, until today. So
Wow. So you are a Rwandan and you're going to speak as a Rwandan. I need you to clarify on that. Looking at you, one would
Right.
say, "What are you saying, Rwandan?" But yeah, before we came on air, you were talking a bit about how the culture, the mindset has been shifting over time.
Yeah.
Maybe, and you contributed to that,
Yes,
surely.
definitely.
So maybe you want to talk to us firstly about how you are a Rwandan, and then secondly, what you have observed with time.
Yeah, right. So, well, yeah, like I said, we're born here, and I got my citizenship just a month or so ago. So,
Congratulations.
thank you. And when I came here in 2015, when I came back here as a dog trainer, I started to just explore what this industry has to offer for me. And I realized that I was mostly working with either expats, foreigners, maybe diasporas. I would say that was 95, 98% of my customers at that time. And from 2015 until now, I can say that the majority of customers are now the local Rwandan population that has a dog as a pet, not just security or cat as also security against pests, but you can see it has shifted to those dogs are more friends than before. And yeah, it's really booming. You can see now there are thousands and thousands of pet owners in Kigali, just in Kigali. I don't know about outside of Kigali much, but there are thousands now. So this is something that I would say was 10 times less, if not more, just not even 10 years ago. So you can see quite a big jump in that.
Do you have a picture as to why there has been that kind of shift?
So there's a few things I would say is obviously exposure. So internet, for example. So you have, for example, you have young guys maybe, or the young population maybe seeing me walking a dog, and
It's fun to.
they used to be scared, right? I remember people would jump off the street when I was walking a dog, as if the car were
really?
not more dangerous than the dog, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it was completely different. Like people were really, really, really scared of dogs, and I lost my train of thought. The question was,
We're talking about how the Rwandans have been reacting towards.
oh yeah, how it has
why
grown.
you think it is growing.
Right. Yeah. So, and I'm sure that has brought up curiosity. And today, with the internet age, I'm sure people are looking up and they thought that was cool to see, somebody walking a dog, interacting with the dog, and the dog's doing cool stuff like, obedience, sit down, stays, and all that stuff. And yeah, I think that brought up curiosity. And then you have maybe a lot of diasporas, or I would say people higher ranked people, I would say, that have dogs here, and I think that's also attracting, right? So it's like, oh, this guy has a dog, so I should have one too. So and I've seen that's also something that really copy your neighbor or something like that. So you're just kind of seeing how others are interacting with dogs is probably attracted the curiosity and then the wanting to have one. And then this person gets like, oh, I'm gonna get one too, and then people get dogs. I really think that's what shifted. And the other thing I would say is when I came in here in 2015, there were not many options for pet services and products. And also if there was, it wasn't at a high quality that the majority of people would want. So for example, as a dog trainer, I saw that the dog trainers here were really abusive to the dogs, the way they were training. And I was trying to teach the country there are better ways to train dogs. They are not aggressive, abusive, and things like that. So people saw that, oh, there is a professional that can help me train my dog in a better way. So now they're more confident that, okay, if my dog has a problem, I have somebody that can help me with it. So that brings a confidence. Even I brought a dog from Canada, from Toronto here, And I was like, where am I going to bring that dog if it had a medical issue? So I opened a clinic.
Oh, yes, that's how you opened your clinic.
Part of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things before I came here, as we were going to have this conversation, I kept asking people, so do you have a pet? Do you like it? Do you actually take care of it? It's one thing to have it. It's another thing to actually like take care of it. We're talking, you know the terminology is better than I do because, like I said, I'm not a pet person. Yeah, not even a mosquito. I wouldn't. Does anybody have a mosquito for a pet?
I don't know, but you never know. I'm sure there are people.
People are crazy. I've seen snake pets. I have seen. Did I see a lion pet? Have you seen something like that?
Maybe not here. I know it's common in Dubai, but I think they just banned that.
Right?
I don't know.
That's crazy. But anyway, so I have learned that they are increasingly understanding the companionship that comes with pets. And with the culture here, people are not exactly that social. They prefer their space. So when you come from work, you go to your house, and they've kind of discovered that the pets offer that, companionship that would otherwise cause you to, I don't know, go out, booze or whatever. So yeah, that's another cultural shift, maybe mindset shift that I would say that is playing into the culture and boosting this whole having pets thing. Now, I want to talk about the care.
Yeah.
And you come in from a place that you owned a clinic, but also that you're a dog trainer. How often will people actually pay that you should train a dog, and yet I can just keep it there, refuse to give it food if it's good? I don't know, kind of like self-train it to save on costs and all. Yeah.
So yes, a lot of people could train their dogs from day one, but a lot of people don't. And if they do, they don't do it the right way. And that's where we come in. So that's when they start to see that the dogs have issues. And but I mean, a lot of people also are educating themselves before getting a dog, so they know what it takes and they know the consequences of that. So they want to prevent problems by hiring a dog trainer and dog walking and all that. So we would sell as a package of dog training and walking together, so the dog gets both mental and physical exercise and stimulation.
Are we talking mental for a dog? Mental conversation?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, that's rich.
Yeah. You know, a tired dog is a good dog, so you want them to be very stimulated. So we used to offer that as a service, and obviously labor here is not the same price as many places in Europe or North America, so it would be quite affordable for people coming from outside. It was very affordable actually to do dog walking regularly. So, you know, that was something that was growing really well. But in terms of other care, vet and stuff, when we opened, our target was to help everyone, not just a certain part of the population. So we try to keep our prices as low as possible while still maintaining high quality services, which was really tough, which is maybe why I don't have the clinic anymore.
Yeah.
Right? One of the reasons. But I mean, we did that, and that kind of brought up the confidence and the amount of people that were coming to just by curiosity, oh, what is the value of me bringing a dog to or my pets to the clinic? What are they going to do for me? That instead of me staying home and not taking my pets, and most of the time there are some diseases like we were talking about earlier, parvovirus. A lot of people would wait 2-3 days when the puppy would get that, and by the time they realize this is not getting better, that's when they called us. But by then it would be almost too late to save that animal. So, and a lot of the time the reasons would be because they would be scared to pay the money that it would be, and then they would still call us and we would tell them just come, and then they realized we're not that bad, right? So that's how the word spread out, and we became very busy, I should say. But unfortunately for other diseases, things can be more expensive. But at least, yeah, for some things we try to keep it as low as possible.
Yeah, well, so to just get the picture, because what is currently, it's really expensive to take care of pets to the point that is it called
Euthanasia.
euthanasia, to put them to sleep. It's killing them. Can't use that word. Anyway, so it's come to that. It's come to a place where they are doing that, or they are taking them back to shelters, like
Right.
pet shelters, or they are kind of just choosing not to be pet parents anymore. Like if you had one, because I realized once you're a pet parent, you get attached, and so even if your pet died, you kind of like want to get another one. But now people are going like, you, expense. Taking care of me as a human being is already had enough. Why should I add a pet? And so I just want to know the picture right here in Rwanda. In the rest of the world, people are choosing now to kind of like pull back generally. Firstly, kill the ones they have, and then not get
So
more.
what's happening here instead?
What does it look like here in
Okay.
Rwanda?
Yeah, so here in Rwanda, what you end up seeing is people abandoning their dogs, leaving them on the streets, hoping that they get a better life on the streets. But I can tell you that 90-something% of the time, they don't have a better life on the streets. They don't find food. They can get hit by a car. They can get disease. They can get attacked by another animal. And they usually they get taken away somewhere. And who knows what happened, but most likely I don't think they end up being alive after a few weeks or days. So that's one of the sad part. Or somebody hopefully might pick up the dog and take them home, but how many people can do that?
I wouldn't.
Right. I have, and a lot of people I know have. But
Isn't that dangerous though? The stray animals, and they dangerous?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you have to be cautious, yes, of course, but it's rare that you have a case of rabies here. It's rare that the dog is aggressive. They're usually not aggressive. They're usually very docile. They're very, even sometimes friendly when they come to you. So all the dogs that I've rescued, some of the ones that I rescued as adults, they're actually the friendliest dogs ever for some reason. Very friendly. Like I can introduce them to any other dog or any person and they're just completely fine. A dog that I've raised at home as a trainer, they actually could be aggressive to people or dogs. So it depends. But yeah, so you see them abandoning dogs. You see euthanasia here is not as common because it's a bit more affordable than it would be in the rest of the world. But I have a few cases of that happening, that people needed to put them down because of the cost. It's really rare. And in a lot of cases that happened to us, what we would do is we would take on the cost. We would take on the dog ourselves.
Oh, instead of putting it to sleep, you take it on.
Yeah, so we ended up with a lot of animals in our care, right? Which is a bit tough, but we couldn't in our heart just kill the dog because of financial reasons. Right now, I understand if I was in another place, like if I was in Canada, you're looking at thousands of dollars for something like this. I wouldn't be able to afford it. Then the other option is to put them down, unfortunately. Maybe try to rehome them for somebody that can afford it. But
do we have many homes here, dog homes, something?
Like a shelter, you mean?
Shelter where you can rehome them, or for those stray dogs, rescuing them and all.
So unfortunately, there's only one association that I know very well, which is called WAG. So they are the ones who rescue dogs. They used to be also in my clinic. So we work together a lot. Now today they have their own place where they have about 30, 40 dogs maybe. They're looking for a home. And they're full all the time. That's the issue. So we also rescued, they were rescuing. There's another organization that rescues, but they're full. I think they have about 40, 45 dogs. So yeah, that's it. That's all we have. So it's a problem. It's a problem that we were not able to take in more dogs anymore.
Yeah. As we are kind of like wrapping up the conversation, I want to get a picture of what it takes. How much does it cost you to raise pets? Like we said, there are different kinds. So we just need maybe averagely, like for a dog, averagely for cats. And then you can kind of talk about even the healthcare part. Because, I mean, that's another thing. When they get sick, you have to take them to the clinic and, I mean, extra costs.
Yeah. So let's look at an average size dog, which is about 20-25 kilo, which is about the local breed that we have here. Food can maybe cost you between 1,000 franc to 3,000 franc a day, depending what you feed and how much and the quality of food. So you're looking at about 30 to 100K a month just on food. Obviously, the more quality food you have, the less vet expenses you'll have, more likely.
Yeah.
Right. So in terms of vet care, you have to look at the annual vaccinations. You have to look at flea and tick treatments, flea and ticks treatment. You have to look at all the maintenance stuff, dental scaling and all that. That could run up to maybe 500K a year, right? Just for maintenance.
500K a year.
Yeah, that's if nothing goes wrong. That's just maintenance to make sure that your pet is in good health throughout the year. Now, obviously, if something happens, then that can be a problem. A surgery can be a minor surgery can be 50 to 100K. A major surgery can be 300-400K. If it's a very, very, very big surgery like back and spine, that could be up to 2 million. So, yeah, I think that's as high as it can go for a surgery here in Rwanda today. But yeah, so you're looking at, you need to make sure you have at least $1 million a year on the side for your pet.
Whoa.
In Rwanda, yeah. So it's not cheap. And that's, again, to make sure the pet is in good health and has the right food and the right quantity and all that. And that's not counting training, boarding,
Oh my God.
grooming, and all
Oh
these
my God.
things, right? So grooming can be, 20, 30, 40, 50K per session, could be done 3-4 times a year. So yeah, you have to look at all these extra things. Walking can be 100, maybe 50 to 200 a month with training maybe. So yeah.
And we are talking about when you have one.
This is just one.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oh wow.
So imagine how much I have to spend on food for 7 dogs, right?
Wow.
But yeah, so it can add up a lot.
So this is just me being curious. Is this one of the reasons as to why people are having less children these days?
Definitely, yes. Education, everything is expensive, so could be.
Yeah, you have a pet and then you have a child. That's too much to take care of.
Or people get a pet instead of a child. That's
Oh my
becoming
God.
that's also a thing.
Oh my God.
It's cheaper to have a pet than a
Oh
child.
my
So-
God. That is harsh reality.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So well anyway, generally pets are a good thing. Must we have pets now that we know they're expensive? And for me, I'm sticking to that part. But he said here in Rwanda, it's a little bit more affordable compared to prices out there. So don't be afraid. Have your pet. It's a good thing. But is it really?
I believe so.
That's how we are wrapping up the conversation. Tell me why you think it is.
Well, pets. So at least you're never lonely when you go home, right? They are usually the ones that will come to you and say hi before your partner and kids. So, and also they are scientifically proven to reduces your stress levels and all that. So it's good to have them at home, not just for that reason, but it helps, right? So if you're having a bad day and apparently you just pet a dog, you will actually feel a bit better, for example. And yeah, let's say you have a cat that lays on you and it starts to purr. Apparently that also releases some stress relieving what's the word, hormones, so that you also calm down. So they do bring that kind of benefit and more. They're friendly, they're goofy, they're fun. You can go for a walk with your dog, it's exercise. So it brings a lot of, and these are just on what's on the surface, but I think in a spiritual level, emotional level, they actually bring more. And this is what my objective was here when I started. When I opened my business here, was to actually really show this to the people and to make sure that price and affordability and quality of service is not a problem when they get their best friends. Yeah.
This was a trap for you to kind of like literally tell me how about your dog, which I'm going to ask you to talk to me about. I was hoping you'd get into that because he has a very life-changing story, and it's attached to partly to the dog, right? Yeah, you're vegan now, and so
Right.
much more. Just get into it.
Sure. So I had this dog in Canada. It was the first dog I would say was my own. Usually the dogs I had was family dogs, my dad's dog or whatnot. But this was my own dog, and I was also at a stage of my life where I wasn't in the best place, and I realized that that dog had brought a lot of calmness into my life. And I would come home, like I said, I would come home, the dog is there, right? No one else is there to say hi. My dog is every day, no matter what. And she would hear my car because I had a loud car and a loud motorcycle. So she would hear it for like 2-3 minutes before I get there. She would hear and she would be waiting by the door. Anyway, so that dog unfortunately had a lot of medical issues. Obviously, like I said, this was in Canada. So I spent tens of thousands of dollars making sure that dog is in good health and comfortable. Even when she was old, I did an inoculation, removing the eye, just for her comfort. Her eye was already gone, she couldn't see, but she was in pain. So just for comfort, I spent a lot of money. And in my mind, I was always like, this is gonna come back to me in another way, which the clinic did. So the clinic that I opened here was dedicated to her. But also, I connected my love for animals, and I realized that I cannot see this animal differently to another animal. That's why I became vegan. So that dog really made me see what an animal is. And also I started doing dog training because of that dog, because I was really fascinated about what they can actually do and how much you can teach to a dog. And I wanted to do it the right way, so I learned how to do training. And so she changed my life as I opened a clinic. I became into the pet industry as a dog trainer as well, and a vegan and all that. So
Yeah. When we speak vegan, we mean vegan. Like all product animal.
All products, yeah.
Wow.
Don't eat it, don't wear it.
By the way, you also mentioned that your dogs are vegan. How does that even work?
So, okay, I'm not going to say they're 100% vegan. I do feed sometimes packaged dog food. This is more as a supplement nutrition to add some supplements into their food. But the food that we cook it's all vegetables, tofu, and things like that. So, and they're very healthy, very, very healthy. I haven't had any problems with them so far. I've done a lot of studies on that too. So dogs are, they're omnivores, which means they can thrive on either a meat-based diet or on a plant-based diet, and on both, mix of both. So yeah, mine are probably 90-95% vegan, because we don't cook meat at home. So
wow. It's been lovely today having you here.
Thank you.
Rahim. The thing is, as we close this conversation, I have learned that each dog apparently has a story of its own. And because I've become a bit more curious, I am thinking I'm going to be bringing you a bit more about the dogs. Like this time round, I will dare get a bit close to them in the field. So very soon, Jolove's going to be taking the radio on the road again. Keep it Royal FM for this and so much more. Let me know your experience with your pets. We are curious now. We really want to get into that and find out. But thank you so much. It's been lovely sitting with you here. Till next time, goodbye.